All right, guys, so I'm going to orient you to P5js, the editor, how to create an account, how to duplicate an account, let you help customize some of the settings. Um, so let's jump into it. All right, the first thing you guys need to do is you need to use either Google Chrome. You cannot use Microsoft Edge. You cannot use Firefox. You need to use Chrome, otherwise you might end up having some issues. So we open that up. If it does not open, bring us directly to Google. We need to go to Google, and then we can do a simple search in the search bar, and we're just going to type P5js and click enter. Okay. Now we are going directly into the editor, so we're just going to click on the web editor. Okay. Now this is what it looks like in P5js. P5js, it's a JavaScript editor. It's an online JavaScript editor that we can use to create all of our programs. Okay, so in order for us to use this, we could start coding right now, but we won't be able to save any of our work because we don't have an account. Okay, so we want to create an account. So on the right-hand side, we're going to go ahead and click Sign Up. Okay, now there's a button down here that says Login with Google. That's what we want to click, and then we're going to select our school email account. So I already have an account for that one, so I'm going to use this one, but you're using your school email. Okay, now when it opens up, it should show our username on the top right. We can hit the little caret next to us to see what other options we have. We can see our sketches, our collections, our assets, our settings. We could even manually sign out. Once we have an account, we can also start customizing some things. So I personally do not like seeing everything in this light view. So I'm going to click on the settings right here, and I'm going to change it. We have different themes that we can do. We have light, we have dark, and we have high contrast. I personally like high contrast. You guys can use whatever one you want. Okay. I also think that the text size is a little bit too small, so I'm going to go ahead and increase the text size. Okay. It makes it easier for me to see. It makes it easier for you guys to see in the videos. And there's a couple things that I want to select. I want it to auto save after I make changes. So I'm going to go ahead and click on auto save. Now this only works after I have created a new name for it and I've done the initial save. I also want it to auto close brackets to help me out, and I want it to word wrap. Okay, now the other tab, the accessibility tab, these are to help us be able to navigate easier. See how there's numbers right here? If I shut those off, I don't see those numbers, but then that's going to be hard for you to refer to me when you have an issue on something. So you want to have the line numbers on so you can say, hey, Mr. Walters, I'm having an issue on line 5. Okay. The next two areas, we are going to leave those alone. We are not going to edit anything on those because that could cause complications in your guys' programs. All right, so this is our account. This is what we're looking at. Now we have it. If I close this and open this back up, as long as I don't log out on my last session, it's going to open up with my username. Okay. Now I do not have any sketches, so we're going to create our very first sketch. The very first thing that we're going to do when we're looking at any assignment, I have a list of things underneath the video of things that you need to make sure you have included in your programs. Okay. Some stuff I'm giving you specific walkthroughs for of what you need to include. Other things I'm just mentioning what you need to add, and then you are doing it because it's something that you've previously learned. Okay, so the very first thing that we need to do, and it's always on the list of instructions, is to have a custom name. Okay, so we are not going to use the silly names that they suggest. We're just going to click on it, and we're going to give the name. Now, you would have to look down at the bottom of the assignment for what the name needs to be. For this one, it is Walter's Created Account. Okay, then we click Enter, and we have created our name. Okay, now, this still does not really mean that I have saved it. So I want to go File, Save. Now it's saved, and it enabled autosave. Okay, that's what I want to see. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to learn about some comments. I can run this code, and it doesn't really do anything. Okay, it just opens up in my preview a canvas of this size with this background color. Okay, so we want to add some comments. So we're going to click at the start of line 1. I'm going to hit enter 2 times. Then I'm going to click on line 1 again. Now, because I have made some changes from the original program, it shows a little dot there letting me know that it needs to be saved. Okay, so I am going to write 2 slashes. 2 slashes means it is a comment. This is a comment. Okay, it is something that I will see in my code, but it will not run when I click the play button to run, and it will not show in my preview. Now, if I wanted this not to be a comment, I can take off these 2 slashes just by clicking delete and deleting them, or I can hit Command/ on a Mac or Control/ on a Windows computer or a Chromebook, and I will take that comment off. Now, if I try to run it, I will get some errors because this is not understood code. Okay, it will say a syntax error, and it will tell me where. Line 1 right here, line 1. So I do want this to be a comment, so I'm going to go ahead and comment again. Again, on a Mac, Command/. On a desktop or Chromebook, it is Control/. Okay, so we want 2 comments in our very first program. We want one that's saying this is a comment. We want another one that is saying this is my first P5js program. Okay, now we want to save it, so we're going to go up to File, and we're going to go to Save. Okay, now, if I run this again, I will not see that error. Okay, we have created an account. We want to create a collection so that you could share that with me. All right, so we're going to go to File. There's a couple different ways that you guys can share with me. If you're sharing an individual assignment by the instructions, you only need to turn in one thing. You're going to click on Share, and then you're going to click on this Edit link. None of the others. You're just going to click on this Edit one right here, and it's going to say Copy to Clipboard. You're going to paste that as an inline link in the assignment. Okay. The other way that you would save if you're turning in multiple things is through a collection, okay, where we need to create one. So we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Open, and then we have a list of all of our files that we created, all of our programs. These are called sketches. It tells us when we created them, tells us when we last updated them. Okay, now we have some tabs up here. The next one that we see is collections. We're going to go ahead and click on that, and we can create a new collection. We want to create that collection, and since this is our first unit of P5js Orientation and Drawing, that's Unit 2. Unit 1 was our intro week. So we are going to do Unit 2, and then click Create Collection. All right, now, this is a new collection. I want to add stuff to my collection. Okay, so it shows no sketches in collection. I can click Add Sketch. Now it's showing my created account. I can select that. After I've clicked on it, that plus sign should go to a check mark, and now it will show up in my collection. All right, so we want to actually create another sketch in there to show how we can duplicate sketches. These are live documents. So when I have this open, if I use this as a template for another program, which you guys are going to need to do that on several assignments, if you edit this and try to turn it in as another assignment, I am seeing your newest changes, which means if I have not got to grading your original one, you already made changes, one of those assignments is not correct. Okay, you should get in the habit of always duplicating code when you're going to write a new program. There should be a different sketch for every single assignment. Okay, so we want to create another sketch. So we're going to go to File, we're going to duplicate this one. So we're going to go to File, and then we're going to go to Duplicate. Okay, now this only happens if we've already done an initial save on an assignment. We'll get the additional option. So we're going to go ahead and click Duplicate. Now up here, it just changed the name to Add Copy. Okay, we're going to modify this name so it says Walter's created account duplicate. Okay, click off of it or click Enter, and then it's going to auto save. And now we want to actually make some changes. We do not want to see the same stuff on here. This should be new stuff. So We're going to take off line 1. We're going to just highlight it and click delete. And then this is not our first program. This is my second program. And on here, we're actually going to add some code. Okay, so I want us to draw a couple shapes. So here at the end of line 9, where we see the background, we're going to click enter 2 times. 1, 2. Okay, we always want to make sure that we're writing inside of brackets. This is the draw function. It starts at this bracket and it ends at this bracket. We are reading line by line. If you have anything outside of brackets, it doesn't work. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw a couple shapes. So I'm going to draw 2 circles. So we're going to do circle and then a set of parentheses. You're just going to copy exactly like me. I'm going to do this one at 100, 100, and I want it to be the size of 50. At the end of my line, I want to have a semicolon. Okay, I'm not going to do that yet because I want you to see what happens when we can do tidy code. Now, this will run, and I have a circle there. I want to do another one, so I'm going to write circle again. I want this farther over. I'm going to do 300, 150. I'm going to run this again, and now I have 2 circles. Let's do maybe a bigger mouth. So we're going to do this at 200 and 300. And let's make this 75. Let's run this again. There we go. Funny face. All right. So every line needs to finish with a semicolon, like the syntax that you've seen on the video. So what we want to do is we want to go up to edit and we're going to click tidy code. This will help finish each line with semicolons if you miss one. So let's say you're going through and you have semicolons here but you didn't get all of them. If you turn that into me and I see that you did not properly finish your lines with proper syntax, you won't get full credit. You'll get an error on my part, and I'll put that in the rubric. So you can make those corrections, but an easy way before you turn in everything is to always tidy code and then save. Okay, so we saved it. We tidied code. We now want to add this to our sketch. Okay, so we can, again, navigate here. We can look at our sketches directly, and we can click, and we could add it to a collection. We want to add it to, say, Unit 2. Now if I click my collections, I should see that I have 2 sketches in there in Unit 2, and I can click and I can see both of them. All right, so now that I have both of the sketches that I want to turn in, I have my created account and I have my duplicate, and I can click on them and I can see that they are different files. Okay, so let's go ahead and click. This is my comment, first P5js program. Let's go back to our collections and let's actually, let's click through here, my collections. Let's look at our duplicate. This is my second P5js program. They should not be the same thing. If you turn in the same document, one of them is going to be a 0. Okay, all right, so I need to turn this in. I need to turn in both of them at the same time. So I'm going to click on Open, go to Collections, click on the collection that I'm talking about, which is my Unit 2. I'm turning both in at the same time. I'm going to click Share and then click on the URL. It should say Copy to Clipboard. I'm going to copying that and pasting this as an inline link in Schoology for the assignment to get credit. Okay, double check your link, make sure that it opens properly and it shows both of the assignments if you want to get full credit. Okay, all right, that's it. Good luck, have fun.